What's up, YouTube? This is the first impressions video since installing the 550 Performance Airbox lid and the Stage 1 ECU. And I mean, it's only been 2 or 3 minutes I've been on it so far. I know it's definitely getting more air, and if anything, maybe a tad bit more power that you can't even notice. So far it doesn't seem like the ECU gave it more power, but it is a little bit more responsive and a lot more smoother on and off the throttle, which is the big deal. I mean, pretty much what other guys said. Now, I do have the MotoX. A lot of other people with the Stage 1, same mods I have, usually they have the Yoshimura. And then Yoshimura, I'm sure, is a better exhaust. I gained a lot of top end with this MotoX. I said that wrong, I'm sorry. I gained a lot of bottom end with this MotoX, but on top end, it was killing my top end until I took the spark arrestor out. Now that the spark arrestor is out, I got it up to 84, so I think my top end is kind of like at least stock, maybe a little bit more. And if I was confusing, I'm gonna repeat that. Since I put the exhaust, removed the spark arrestor, my top end is at least what it was stock, and my bottom end I definitely gained with the exhaust. Oh, it just popped. Might have to take a little while to get adjusted. This is only like my second or third startup, and I didn't get a check engine light yet. I went right around the parking lot, and it was noticeably smoother on and off the throttle. Not as jerky. Good throttle response. Yeah, and I mean, when I put that Airbox lid on, I put my hand next to it and revved it up, and you could feel it sucking a lot more air. And like I said, I got the velocity stack, which connects to the throttle body, but that looks like a lot of work to remove the Airbox. And to be quite frank with you, I just didn't feel like doing it. I don't believe it's going to give me that much of a performance gain. And I mean, I am happy with the performance of this bike for what it is. I don't know if I'm willing to do all that work just to put the velocity stack on, but we're going to see how it goes. I might just put a DNA filter and call it a day. We're going to see what happens. But so far, it's pretty much what I expected so far. I mean, I didn't expect this to turn into a 450 all of a sudden when I put the Airbox mod and the ECU. But it definitely cleans up the throttle. That's a fact. Well, I tell you, it gets up to 50, 60 pretty quick. I mean, it always did. Except for when I had the spark arrestor in the MotoX exhaust. It actually killed my top end real bad. I had lost like 7 or 8 miles per hour. I have videos on that explaining as I ride. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go down there and do a little 0 to 60 run. And we could use the timer on the bottom of the screen to, you know, judge 0 to 60. We could do it right now, huh? It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Let's do it right now. If they got a police out there, it don't matter. We're only doing 60. And I take off in second. All right. I'm curious to see what that is. Came up a little bit. I took off in second and I kind of feathered the clutch. I mean, if you launch it in first gear on this bike, you could be shifting right away. I take off in second like 90% of the time. Let's see what it'll do on top end, but it is very windy today. My best top speed is 84 so far. The response is real good. Whoa, it's dancing around on me. Oh yeah, it helps with top end. Woo, that front end is walking around like crazy. I've seen it like that already. This is the worst it's ever been. Handlebars steady going side to side. And doing 85 on this little bike is sketchy. But it absolutely helped out my top end. Climbing, climbing, climbing. Now it's a little more steady. Oh yes sir, it absolutely climbed a lot better. Usually it gets to 80 and it climbs real slow, and I eventually got to 84. Now it's still fairly slow, but it's climbing a lot more consistently. So I can say that between the Airbox mod and the stage 1 ECU, it absolutely helped with top end, not even close. And I believe I had a video where I got it up to 82, 83, and you could see the time it takes to climb. And right here it was actually quicker. Now what does that mean long run? Absolutely nothing. Because it's not like you want to cruise at that speed anyway. It's not comfortable, especially when your handlebars are doing like this. But, ooh, wow. I'm pleasantly surprised to know that it absolutely helped on top end. I know it helped on bottom end. Oh yes sir, yes sir. Now I'm not saying I'm gonna be able to beat a DRZ 400 all of a sudden, but I do want to race my partner's stock bike and see what happens. I got a partner with a stock bike, and he also has one with the 3x3 mod, the carburetor, the exhaust, sprockets, and it's pretty badass. All right. Now before, without trying too hard to get the front end up, I was able to get it up. I had to kind of like let off the throttle, let the front suspension compress, and it barely came up. Oh yes, all right. And by the way, I will say I'm not a wheelie person, but I will be practicing soon. I don't want to be on the road, laying on the road right here right after this curve and get run over. All right, it comes up way easier. All right. Let's try a second gear. I never got it up in second. Now I'm not using the clutch either, I'm just giving it gas. I would have to bounce on it and really pull up on it, and it might come up. But first gear, I know what it was like before, so that's why I was able to compare it. First gear, I just roll on the throttle real slow, and I let off, let that front suspension compress, and then when I bump it, it comes up. And it used to be kind of hard, but it'll do it, and now it comes up real easy. But my favorite thing is cruising, let's say third by 30, 40, 20, whatever. Yeah, the response is way better. It pulls way better, low end and top end. So if anybody is thinking about getting a 550 performance, and look, I ain't nobody. Of course I paid for that with my own money. But anyway, if anybody's thinking about getting a 550 performance ECU, I highly recommend it. And I tell you what, that lid, you could do it yourself. All they do is cut it and they put the frog skin on it. And I did buy more of the frog skin circles, but it didn't pay to cut more holes because on that end of the lid, your filter's not exposed, it's all covered, so you wouldn't be getting more air anyway. So I just left it like it was. So performance wise, we got the MotoX titanium exhaust, stock air filter, we got the modded Airbox lid from 550 performance, and we got the 550 performance stage 1 tune. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier. No, it doesn't turn the bike into a 450, but it absolutely has noticeably better low end and top end. And I would assume mid-range too, right? Yeah, she's running good. I never had a check engine light. This is the first ride. So far, so good. Very windy. Hey, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one out. Y'all stay tuned for upcoming videos, and thanks for watching Cajun Escapade. Yeah, you're right.